Have you actually stopped to add it all up? I'm talking about that 20 to 200 bucks you're shelling out every single month on AI subscriptions. It's this hidden compounding cost that has just quietly crept into our daily workflows. But what if I told you that you could run those exact same daily tasks for free, right on your own machine?
Welcome to The Explainer. I am incredibly excited to dive into this with you today because we're unpacking a quiet, massive shift in the tech world that is literally going to save you a ton of cash. We are focusing squarely on why local AI saves money. You see, this isn't just some fringe hobbyist experiment anymore. It is really about financial liberation. It's about taking those hefty cloud AI fees and replacing them with incredibly powerful, completely free local alternatives. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at the hidden cost of AI, build the case for local alternatives, and then check out the top free models available. After that, we'll dive into the tools you need to run them, the hardware you actually need, and finally, wrap up with what we call the smart hybrid approach.
All right, kicking things off with sections 1 and 2, the hidden cost and the real case for going local. When you lay it all out, the contrast is pretty staggering. On the cloud side of things, you're dealing with heavy, recurring costs. You are essentially renting your brainpower by the token. Plus, there are major data privacy risks. The second your sensitive code or client data leaves your machine, you're rolling the dice. And, of course, you have to be online. But local AI? It totally flips the script. It is completely 100% free. It offers absolute privacy because your data never leaves your laptop. And it works entirely offline. Now, let's be totally honest about the trade-offs here, because that really matters. The source material points out that local AI delivers roughly 80 to 90% of the quality of massive cloud giants like ChatGPT. But think about the math on that for a second. You get to keep up to 90% of the capability, but your recurring cost drops to absolute zero. That is an incredible financial hack. And honestly, that 10 to 20% quality gap, it matters way less than you'd think for your day-to-day stuff. Think about what you actually do every day. Drafting emails, summarizing long documents, getting coding assistance, brainstorming ideas, running Q&A on your personal files. These are workflows that execute beautifully on local models. You just don't need to burn through a token-based cloud subscription to do these things anymore. So moving right along to section 3, let's talk about the top free local models out there right now. These are the absolute heavy hitters of the ecosystem. Meta's Llama 3.1 and 3.2. They're basically the backbone of this whole movement, running comfortably on just 8 gigs of RAM. If you need complex math or coding, DeepSeek R1 is your absolute reasoning powerhouse. And if you're working across multiple languages, Qwen 2.5 is this amazing globe-trotting workhorse that scales brilliantly. The best part is you get to pick the exact right model for your specific needs, entirely for free. There's a brilliant analogy from our sources that compares Mistral 7B to a budget laptop. I absolutely love this. It's compact, it's incredibly efficient, and man, does it punch way above its weight class. It effortlessly outperforms larger, older models while requiring way fewer resources, which makes it absolutely perfect for quick offline tasks, even on older hardware. And hey, it's not just the spunky challengers making waves here. Even the massive incumbents are seeing the writing on the wall. Case in point, OpenAI recently dropped GPT-OSS, which is a fully open-weight model. This gives technically capable users a genuinely frontier-level model they can run privately. When the companies charging you for access start releasing open-weight versions of their own tech, you know this shift to local is the real deal. All right, section 4. Let's look at the actual tools you need to run this AI locally. If you're worried this is going to take a computer science degree, don't be. Setup is just not a hurdle anymore. Take Ollama, which is a massive favorite among developers right now. It is quite literally a 3-step process. Step 1, install Ollama. Step 2, pull your model, just like pulling a Docker image, say Llama 3.2. And step 3, run the command. That's it. Plus, its API is OpenAI compatible, so you can actually swap out paid cloud APIs for your free local one without having to rewrite any of your apps. But what if the command line just really isn't your jam? Totally fine. There are some incredibly user-friendly graphical options out there now. LM Studio gives you this beautiful ChatGPT-style interface in just minutes. Super easy for non-developers. Anything LLM is perfect for power users who want to chat with their own documents and build out local knowledge bases. And GPT-4All is a 100% offline, super secure choice designed specifically for non-technical users. There is a familiar interface for literally everyone. Which brings us to section 5, and probably the biggest myth we need to bust today, the hardware you actually need. People think you need a massive server farm, but the absolute sweet spot for most casual users is just an Apple Silicon MacBook. An M-series Mac with 16 gigs of RAM runs an 8 billion parameter model completely effortlessly at production quality. Got a standard gaming PC with an RTX 3060 to 4070? You're running 7 to 13 billion parameter models with incredible speed. Honestly, you only need to invest in a massive space-heating RTX 3090 or 4090 if you're trying to run giant 70 billion parameter models at near cloud quality. Now, when we're talking about whether a model actually feels fast, 15 is the magic number, 15 tokens per second. The research shows that anything above this rate feels highly responsive and interactive. It feels like a real conversation. And the awesome news is that most modern hardware easily clears this 15 tokens per second bar for smaller, everyday models. Finally, let's wrap up with section 6, the smart hybrid approach. Okay, let's be real for a second and talk about where local AI still falls a little bit short, because it's not a magic bullet for every single scenario. The massive paid cloud models definitely still have the edge when it comes to highly complex, multi-step reasoning. Local models are also still kind of catching up on native multimodal stuff, like generating images seamlessly. And finally, local models have a training cutoff. They don't natively browse the live internet out of the box. So what's the practical play here? The ultimate money-saving strategy is a hybrid approach. It's all about how you split your workload. You take the vast majority of your daily tasks, say 70 to 80%, and route those locally. That covers all your privacy-sensitive work, your email drafting, your summarization, all entirely for free. Then, you save your paid cloud AI solely for that remaining 20 to 30%, the genuinely complex, heavy lifting. This strategy allows you to slash your subscription costs dramatically without losing any functionality. So, what's your big takeaway from all this? Where should you actually begin today? Honestly, start exactly here. Grab a Llama and run Llama 3.28b. With just 2 quick commands, you can build your own highly capable, entirely private AI assistant in a matter of minutes. It is without a doubt the absolute best starting point to see this money-saving tech in action. Which leaves us with one final thought. Models have leveled up dramatically, the tools are ridiculously simple to use, and the computer sitting on your desk right now is probably already powerful enough. The question really is no longer if local AI can replace your paid subscriptions for your daily work. The question is, when are you going to stop paying those unnecessary monthly fees and finally try it out for yourself?